This is our second video in our candidate interview series. We're doing it with Darrell Smith, County Commissioner of District 3. How are you doing, Mr. Darrell?
Good morning, Matt. I'm doing good. Thank you for allowing us candidates to do these interviews and to get information out to our voters. I appreciate that very much.
Ready to get started?
Sure.
Okay. So what are some successes that you feel have made while you're in office?
Yeah, first of all, I'd just like to say it's been an honor to serve as the District 3 County Commissioner for the last 3.5 years. And I do feel like we've had successes as a board, working with our staff and our constitutional officers. Just to name a few, one, even though real estate values have continued to go up, we've worked to keep the millage rate down and lowered it each of the last 3 years, and I hope we'll do that again this year. Second, we've hired an experienced leader and manager to oversee our road department who has made improvements over the last six to 8 months, and I think he'll continue to do that as our board supports him and his staff and provide them with the equipment that they need. Also related to roads, we've been successful in getting money from the state to help pave and repave. In fact, around $12 million over the last couple of years. And as you know, we've recently repaved County Road 232. We are scheduled to pave Gay Road in the coming months. And then later in the year, County Road 138 to repave. And I just heard the governor sign the budget. And I think we're going to get another $11 million to work on paving and repaving. And I think next year we're scheduled to pave Dixie Grade, and then hopefully County Road 339 going to Bronson as well. So I think we've had success there. We're building a new jail, as you know. We're replacing the second oldest jail in the state. And we're able to do that because this board, as well as other boards, have been saving for a while. Also, we've been budgeting around $300,000 each year to send our inmates to surrounding counties. We'll be able to reallocate that money to help pay for the jail. We've been able to increase employee pay to be more competitive with surrounding counties. We've made improvements to our solid waste collection sites by adding compactors and also part-time employees, and which has made them more efficient, as well as cleaner sites. Last year, working with Representative Clemens, Senator Bradley, and the governor, we were able to get $4.3 million to help, one, enhance our public safety system. We'll be able to build a new fire rescue building there just north of Trenton. Install a new public safety communication system, which was greatly needed, and also to provide additional support to our sheriff's office. And so all those things are going to help protect and save lives, I believe. Also, with those funds, we're going to be able to use some of that money to build a new county extension office. And as you know, we're able to, that office is staffed with University of Florida extension agents, as well as 4-H volunteers and other staff, and they provide programs to 4-Hers, homeowners, farmers, and others, and that'll happen for generations, as you know. Finally, I'd say a success has been we've worked to be good financial stewards, and our county is in as good a financial position as it's been in a long time. And that means we have a strong fund balance savings account, basically, for emergencies. It allows us to do some things we couldn't do otherwise. The other thing that allows that is we've been successful in getting grant money. You know, over half of our budget is funded by federal and state revenue. And again, the grant money allows us to build buildings and buy vehicles and make other improvements we couldn't do otherwise.
And what are the biggest issues you think need to be addressed right now?
So probably the biggest issue is growth, and thinking, and maybe that's a longer term issue, and there are lots of things you can, growth is good. We need smart growth. Growth helps our economy, but also we want to protect the things that are important to Gilchrist County. And so that'd be one issue. I think about, a thing I hear about quite a bit is maintenance on our lime rock and dirt roads. And I think we've made improvements in that area. We still have room for improvement. As you know, we purchased a machine that's able to, and we should get it this month actually, that will allow us to mix those harder lime rock roads that are hard to grade and mix them down to 8 or 12 inches, regrade them, repack them, shape them, and I think that's going to help us. Another issue here quite a bit about lately, particularly are solar facilities. And as you know, the board has taken a position to, we feel like we have enough of those in the county. And we've written a letter to our state leaders and the power companies to see if we can change the state law that pretty much says they're an acceptable use in an ag area. And that law was changed back in 2021. We've met with our legislative delegation. As you know, Matt, we're planning to meet with the Small County Coalition, which we're a member of. There's 40 other counties in the state that are similar to us, and we feel like if we can get a broader base of support, we're going to be more successful in changing that state law.
And then what are some changes that you would like to see made if you got another term?
So changes that I would like to take a look at and evaluate reinstating our impact fee. As we've discussed, growth is going to be an issue. The demand on services and additional services will be an issue. So finding out and determining how we're going to fund those services will be a challenge. And I think the impact fee has that potential. We did increase permit fees a year or so ago, which allows us to collect some additional revenue related to that. I think seeking help from experts related to growth and what kind of strategies we could implement to have smart growth and protect, agriculture or our green space or our natural resources. So I think those are probably the main things I'd like to do. The other thing I think of is I hear feedback related to our building regulations. I'd like to evaluate what's required by state code, building code, versus what our county might be requiring otherwise. And if we're requiring something that state building code doesn't require, then we need to take a look at changing that.
What are the biggest challenges that you think the county's facing right now?
Yeah, but behind growth, I think growth is probably it. And taking a look at and evaluating what we're currently doing versus what maybe some people are doing or counties are doing in other areas to have smart growth. Now, I tell you, one of the biggest challenges our board's going to have is Bobby Crosby, our coordinator, is leaving. And so one of the biggest decisions our board's going to have to make in the coming 6 months, I'll say, is finding the right person, not only who's qualified, but who can relate to people and help people and have the right heart. And so I just believe that's going to be one of the things we're going to have to really take a look at as a new board.
What are some things that you think that the county commission is doing well right now?
Yeah, I'd say one of the biggest successes has been our staff, our good staff, going after grant money and being successful. I think our current budget year, over $20 million of our current budget is being funded by grant money. And so, like I said before, we would not be able to build the buildings we're building or make the improvements we're making to the county or new vehicles or just lots of other things without that grant money. We're in, like I mentioned, a strong financial position as we have been in a long time. That allows us to do some things and be ready for emergencies. And, I would say one of our successes is the relationships we have at all levels, not only at the board, the county level, with our constitutional officers, with our legislative delegation, even the governor's office. I think those relationships, the Small County Coalition, which I mentioned earlier, all help us represent Gilchrist County.
What makes you the best candidate for this position?
So that one is, the voters ultimately are going to have to decide who the best candidate is. And I think about that question, maybe my motivation, my experience, and my long-term involvement in the community. First of all, my motivation is we've got to look out for taxpayers, definitely. And I think the whole board is interested in doing that. We got to make decisions that are good for not only each of us today, but also for our children and our grandchildren. And so long-term thinking would be one of the things I think I offer. I'm fortunate, thankful to have graduated from Bell High School, Lake City Community College, University of Florida. All those things help, I think, prepare me. My experience during my career, I've had the opportunity to lead and manage people and been responsible for budgets. I've had the opportunity to work in Tallahassee at the legislature. I know how the legislature, that process works. Worked with legislators, even the ones that are currently in office. And so I think those help me. And then probably the long-term involvement in the community. I want to be a servant. And, I was involved with the original Gilchrist County Recreational Authority that helped build the Field of Dreams, the Gilchrist County Education Foundation, the Fair Board, and 4-H and FFA, volunteer. And so I hopefully those things would help me represent the voters.
What experience have you gained while you've been in office, and then how does that help you going forward?
Yeah, I would say there's definitely always things to learn. And being in office for 3.5 years, I've been exposed to some things like the budget process, how it's funded, where we spend money. And I feel like having that knowledge will help me going forward. I had the opportunity to be part of and complete the Florida Association of Counties has a leadership training, the certified county commissioner training, the advanced level training, and the things I've learned there, and also the people that I got a chance to know. I think that will help. I'm thankful to be able to represent this area on the Small County Coalition. And so I think those relationships and being connected to other people in the county or in the state will, when there's issues like solar, you can seek input and help from that coalition. And then, hopefully like with solar, that'll be a legislative priority for the coalition this next coming year. And so I feel like that will help us represent Gilchrist County.
What can the citizens of Gilchrist County expect for you in the next term?
Yeah, I would say what can they expect? It's going to be represent them the best that I can, and listen to their issues and concerns and their problems and try to help solve their problems. It's going to be trying to make good decisions on spending and budget and having conservative budgets, and but also thinking about the long term and making those decisions that are good for future generations.
Is there anything that we didn't talk about that you feel like people need to know?
Things that we haven't talked about. I'd say I'm thankful to live in Gilchrist County. Gilchrist County, I believe, is a great place to live, to raise a family, to work, relax, retire. And I'd just like to continue to work with you and others to keep it that way, not only for us, but for future generations. And I'd just say, I'd humbly ask for voters' consideration, their support, and their vote on August the 20th. And if you have questions about anything, I'd appreciate you calling me. I'd love to go visit one-on-one with anyone and talk about those issues and listen to their concerns.
Thank you, Mr. Darrell. Darrell Smith for County Commission.
Thanks.